Jesus has just healed a man, and you would think that everybody would be just overjoyed and excited to see this wonderful miracle, to see this man, this descendant of Abraham, this member of God's covenant people, healed and restored. But no, the Jewish leaders are angry. They're outraged. They're fuming because Jesus has healed on the Sabbath, on the day that is meant to be a day of rest, and they see that as work. So they challenge Jesus. What authority, what right do you have to do this? And Jesus says, well, don't you know that I and my Father are one, and my Father is always working, so I'm just doing his work. I'm just about his business. Jesus doesn't respond by backing down, but challenges and provokes them further because they are even more angry now. They know that there is a difference between him saying God is our Father, in the sense that all of us might talk about God as Father, and his relationship to the Father, and what this oneness means. They realise that Jesus is identifying himself as one with the Father, so that he has equal status, and that there's a oneness of nature, that Jesus is God, and they're going to stone him. They are so angry about this. Jesus pushes them further. How can Jesus say this? Well, Jesus then talks about what it means for him to be one with the Father, what that relationship is all about. And what Jesus says is this. He says that my Father has life in himself. And that life from within himself is something that he grants the Son to have. And he also says that the Father and the Son do the same work, because the Father shows his work to the Son, shows the Son what it is, and the Son gets involved in that work. So in that Bible passage in John chapter 5, there's so much to unpack, isn't there, about the identity of Jesus. There's some important clues about the doctrine of the Trinity. But I want to pick up in the next couple of videos about two other things. Specifically in the context of witness, about sharing our faith. One of them is that work is a witness and an opportunity to witness. And the other is that family and parenthood and fatherhood, of being parents and being children, being fathers and being sons, is a witness and is an opportunity to witness. And it's that one I want to just pay a little bit of attention to here. Notice, first of all, as we've kept saying, that the thing itself is a sign, is a witness. So when we ourselves recognise that we are parents and children, and when the church honours parents and children, that recognition of parenthood and family is itself a witness, is itself a sign, because it's pointing to the fact that God, we know God as the Father, and we know and call God Father because that has been revealed through the Son. That Jesus is the Son. So the simple fact of family life. living family lives and honouring family life is a witness. Now, it's important just to restate something that I often say, that God is completely other. He's holy, he's transcendent. And that means that the language we use to describe God is at best what we call analogical. We cannot speak with precision, and our words don't quite fit across because of the difference. But we're able to say that there's a likeness. And the likeness goes this way. It's not that God is a bit like human fathers, and that Jesus is the Son is a bit like human sons. Rather, it's that us, as imperfect, sinful human beings, know a little bit of what it means to be fathers, or a little bit of what it means to be sons, a little bit of what it means to be parents, a little bit of what it means to be children from who God is. Now the Bible has a lot to say about how parents and children are to relate. In Ephesians 6, children are told to obey their parents, and parents are told to not exacerbate their children. How we love one another in our families is a witness to how we live as families together, the care and love that parents show. Particularly in a world where we are often confronted with the fact that parents don't do a great job at times. Actually learning from the Bible about how to parent our children. And the fact that we live in a world where it seems that, perhaps as partly as a reaction to that, the younger generations at times seem to dishonour and disrespect older generations, than actually seeing Christian children respecting, honouring and loving their parents, even when they frustrate them, is a witness. So we witness through our family life because it is itself a sign, but because also of how we live as families, it demonstrates the difference that the gospel makes. And thirdly, again, families give the opportunity to welcome people in, to give hospitality, and that gives a context to sharing the gospel. And finally, again, we're able to give a reason for the hope that we have. Why are we able to be as we are in our families, live the way we do as families? Well, it's because of the difference that Jesus makes. How do we face difficult family circumstances? What about the person whose family life has not been good? The broken home, the abusive parents, the absent parents. What about those that have suffered bereavement and loss of a child, loss of a parent? Well, the witness there surely is the hope we have and what God offers. The one who is the true and better father, the one who takes the lonely, the widow, the orphan, and places them in families. How he's put us in a family together with his people. We have brothers and sisters, and Jesus, the Son, is our brother, our elder brother. the way that God becomes our Father as we're adopted into the family. By the way, that means, I believe, also that things like fostering and adoption are part of our witness as Christians as well. That's probably a subject all on its own, and I'm not going to go into that in this little video series. But family life is a witness, and we witness through it as well.